I'm Kara, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how to write a good scenario for a performance assessment. Or it might be taking a already existing one and just adapting it and making it a little bit better for your learners, for your classroom, for your environment. So you'll see there's a link near this video. Go check that out. There are lots of assessment examples on there. Those are different ones we've gathered from creating them on Adios textbook, ones we've used in the classroom, and it's a nice practice to always see one before you gotta create your own. But let's talk about what they need and what we found works well. So first, if you're writing a good scenario, I learned this little trick in an English class long time ago. The acronym is RAFT. So the first one is the role. So think about, what is the role of the learner in your classroom? What are they doing in this scenario? A is for audience, so who's listening to whatever they're creating? And for us, it's important to also think about, why are they doing that in the target language? Next is format. What are they creating here? Are they making a text message? Are they making a vlog? Are they doing a conversation? But let them know what format they will need to produce at. And the last one is topic. Let them know the topic. What do they need to cover? What should they include? What details do they need to make sure they get in there somewhere? So let's take a look at RAFT here in an assessment. Okay, here's what I like. It's from the families unit, and it says, you are in the 16th Street Mall and you see a crying child sitting alone. You notice he is sobbing and saying, "Where is my family?" between his sobs. You walk over and you help him. Now, let's go through RAFT. Role. Their role here is they are being a good Samaritan. They are at the mall doing their thing and they're going to help someone out. Okay. And then audience. The audience here would be the small child. So they need to think about what language they want to use with him, how they might adjust that, how they can be very kind, very, very caring to him. And if he's, and again, on your assessment, you can change the sobbing part to be, he's saying that in the target language so they know why they're responding back. All right, the next one is the format. Well, this one says you're going to walk over and help him, so I would assume that this is going to be a conversation. Okay. And the topic is you're trying to help him get back to his family. So what are they going to need to know? They're probably going to need to ask what his family looks like, who the members are, maybe what they're wearing if the learner knows a little of that information. So there you go. That scenario has a little bit of all of that. All right. Now, let's even say this. So I said it was the 16th Street Mall. Now, I would change that to be whatever mall is in your local area. So if it's the Green Tree Mall or the River Falls or whatever it might be, swap that out so the students feel like, this is something that could really happen to me. All right, let's look at another one. Okay. This is from the street art unit. The Center for the Arts Committee is excited to announce that they will be teaming up with El Centro Hispano to invest in several new murals across town that represent the community and its diversity. They're asking local citizens to submit a design that would support, encourage, and inspire the local Hispanic community. Describe the mural you would create, the meaning behind your idea, and how it connects to the people in your area. Submit on their website. Okay, so let's go through here. Role. Their role is they are creating this design for part of their community. So they're basically being a community member here. And audience is the El Centro Hispano group. They are the ones who are judging these, so They would be the ones that you want to talk to in this case. The format, well, this one's a little vague on what the format is. It says to submit on the website, but it doesn't say what. So sometimes we do that on our assessments so we can allow them to submit it as a writing or maybe submit it as a video. But either one of these I would say is presentational. All right, and then the last one is the topic, and the topic here is submitting and explaining this design that represents community and its diversity. So there you go. There's another example with all of those in there. Okay, so that's all great to have when you're writing your scenarios. What we also want to include are a few other things that helps out with proficiency. So is it realistic? Is it age appropriate? Can they complete it at different proficiency levels? And also you want to make sure that you're changing up your mode and skills. So don't make all of them writings and don't make them all speakings. Don't make all of them presentational. Don't make all interpersonal. You want to give it a good mix in there. And then also make sure it's personalized. What we also like as a little extra to it is give them some kind of challenge or problem that they have to solve. Something that makes it a little more interesting. So one of those could be like this. The big vacation is finally here. Your trip to France is going perfectly. Until you find out your bags were accidentally mistagged and sent to CTG, Cartagena, Colombia, instead of CDG, Paris, France. The airline has offered a shopping voucher to help get your new clothes, but you first need to talk to the representative. So there's a little challenge there. There's a problem that needs to be solved, and they need to explain what they got so they can get as much as possible so they can get their bags and their clothes replaced. All right. Also, we think it's nice if they can demonstrate some kind of intercultural competence. We want them to reflect that they understand a little bit so they can make those connections. So, example of that. Okay. This is from the Natural Disasters Unit. While scrolling through social media, an article's title catches your attention. Read the article. React to the article by adding a comment. You may want to include your thoughts and a comparison of a similar event that you have experienced. So here's one where it's actually talking about something from the target culture, and they're also making that comparison back to something that they know about. So it's nice to have those little touches of the culture in there as much as possible. All right, and lastly, I want to show you this little trick. We find that it's very hard to assess in the interpret. So in the interpretive mode, if you want to see what they know, but you don't want to actually grade that part, what you can do is use that so then it leads to something else. And an example of that, this is from the Kites unit. You're helping to plan a One Sky, One World festival. Read the flyers for the kite festivals. Make a list of the activities that you would like to consider for your event and ones that you would not. So their first task, you're giving them all of these different flyers that are in different, from different countries in the target language. And they're simply just pulling information about these are activities I would really like to include, these are activities I might want to include, and these are ones I don't want to include. And then the next part of this, so this is just their prep. This is just getting them ready. And then what you're actually going to assess will be what they do with that, which then the next step is you're with the One Sky, One World Festival. Explain to the committee which ones you like and would like to include in the upcoming festival. So there you go. Then you can see, do they understand what they've seen from the flyers, and they can tell the group about it. All right, so there is a quick overview of what makes a good scenario. I would say definitely keep in mind this role, audience, format, and topic, and also make sure it's as realistic as possible for your students' ages and for the situation, and making it personalized. Right, if you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comments below. Thank you.